Hello everyone, welcome to Techno Simplified. So in this tutorial, we will learn about the Crud operations in REST API. So Crud stands for create, read, update and delete. So these are the multiple operations that we can perform in the REST API. So say for example, if I want to create any resource on the server, so in that case what I will do, I will use the post HTTP method. So there are the multiple HTTP method, but I want to create a resource. So in that case, I will use the post HTTP method. And once I'll send the response request using this post HTTP method, so it will create a resource. So how we can validate that? So we have to validate the status code as 200 and description would be created. So which means that there is one resource which has been created. Now I want to retrieve some information. I want to fetch some information. So in that case I will have to use get HTTP method, and once I'll send the response and I'll send the request and I'll get the response, right? So if the response is successful, so in that case we will see 200 status code and description would be okay, right? Now like as I told above, right, I have created one resource. Now I want to update in that resource. Say for example, I have created a employee resource whose name is Ravi and his email ID is ravi@gmail.com and his designation is software engineer. So now I want to update that resource. So I want to change the name, I want to change the email ID, and I want to change the designation. So if I want to change the whole information of already created resource, I mean the resource which is already existed, so in that case I will have to use put HTTP method. Okay, but there is one more scenario where I want to change, say for example, the email ID only, right? So I want to do the partial change in the already existed resource. So in that case I will have to use patch HTTP method, and once I'll send the request and once that is updated, so I'll get the response and that response will contain 200 status code. Okay. Now like I have created one resource whose name is Ravi. Now I want to delete that resource. I don't want to keep that resource because that resource is not at all useful for me. So in that case I will delete that resource. So once I will delete the resource, the status code would be 200 no content. Now what I'll do, I'll go to my Postman screen and I will perform all these CRUD operations one by one, and I will show you like how it works. Okay, so see, this is my Postman window. Now first I'll perform the get operations. So what get operations do? Get HTTP method do, it retrieve all the information. So if you will see this endpoint, so this endpoint at the end it is mentioned page equals to 2. So whatever the information that will be present in the page 2, that will be returned. Once the request is successful, it will return all those users which are present in the page 2. Now I'll send this request and let's see. Okay, see, so here the status code is 200 okay, which means request is successful, server has responded as required. Okay, now this is the page number 2. So if you will see here what is mentioned, page 2. Now if I scroll down, so see, on the page number 2, this is one record, right? There is a record whose ID is 7 and this is the email ID. First name is Michael, last name is Lawson. Same way there are the other resource available whose ID is 8 and here the ID is 9 and so on, right? So what get request is doing, it is returning all the users which is present on the page number 2, right? Now I'll show you one post request. So one more thing, like in the get request, we don't have any body, right? So as we are just trying to retrieve the information, so there is no need to provide any body. Now coming on the post request, so in the post request, we provide the body. So you need to go to the body, and here you need to select the raw data. As this, this request is in the form of JSON, so from the drop down you will have to select JSON as the request type. Now I'll hit this button and see. Now here if you will see, we are getting 201 created, which means a new resource has been created, right? So this resource has been created. Now if you will see here, right, here the ID is 131, right? So now what will happen if I'll send this request one more time, one more resource will be created whose ID will be something different. As this ID is already existed, so now it will give us the new ID. So let's hit and see. See, this time the ID is 132. If I'll hit one more time, the ID will be different, right? So now the ID is 133, right? So every time I will hit this request, a new resource will be created and it will assign a unique user, unique ID to each resource. Now I'll show you put request. Okay, so as I have told you in the put request, if there is a already existed resources and I want to change the all details, let's say for example the resource which was created, I want to change the name, salary and age, all the fields in that existed resource, then in that case I will use the put request. And put request also has the body, so here the body is provided in the form of JSON. And once I'll hit the request, so let's see. See, after hitting the request, see here the status is success and the data is here. See, name, this one, I want to update this name. I want to update salary as 123 and I want to update age as 23. So here the status code is 200. Okay. And also if you will see, the message is pop. There one message is also present. Successfully record has been updated, right? So this record is already present, but in the same record I just want to change the name, I just want to change the salary and the age. Whole fields that were present in that record I want to change. So that is the reason I have used put request. Now I'll show you patch. So coming on the patch request, so in the patch request we only change the, we don't change the whole field, we only change the certain field. So here in this request I want to change my name and job, right? Only these two fields I want to change. So let's hit this URL and see. Now see, status code is 200. Okay, and these two fields has been changed. So if you will see here, it is mentioned updated at, and this time and this date and time both are present. So this is the use of the patch. So in the patch we don't change the whole field, we only change the certain field. That's the difference between patch and put request. Now I'll perform one delete operation. So this is the endpoint and I will hit it and let's see. So see, here I am seeing a status code as 204, no content. It means that this resource has been removed. So if you will see here, so this endpoint contains the users, right? So one of the user is having the ID as 2. So as soon as I will send this request, the user whose ID is 2 will be deleted or will be removed, right? If I want to remove a user whose ID is 1, then here I will have to give that specific ID. So like 1 if I'll give, and let's see, right? So a user whose ID was 1 got deleted. Now I want to delete the whole users list. So in that case I will use like this. So in this case, once I will do the operation, it will remove all the users. So let's see. See, 204 no content. So all the users will be deleted from here. So that was all about the CRUD operations. Hope this video is helpful to you. If you like my video, please give a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Stay connected with me for watching more videos on API testing. Thank you.